My name is Dixon. You are more familiar with my other name. King Shang Zhou died after himself. The world mentions me. It's just 2 words. Zhenjin, have you ever thought about it? A legacy of more than 30 generations. A dynasty that lasted for more than 500 years. How could it be destroyed because of me alone? I'm not passing the buck. But the collapse of the Shang Dynasty, it didn't come from my teacher alone. The seeds of cause and effect. It was buried hundreds of years before I was born. To talk about the fate of the last emperor, let's start with my ancestral mall. Summer was brutal. People are struggling. We are a species that uses birds as totems. South of the Yellow River. Quietly rise. Battle of Mayo. Shang decides the world in one fell swoop. Established the Shang Dynasty, and the year is 1600 BC. Shang Lei Wangji. But his descendants, for example, the betting after the Taijia, Yaojia crowded and waited for the king. Or impoverished due to civil strife. You can't govern. Failed to continue the brilliance of Shang Kong for a long time. The dynasty was in chaos. The rebellion of the 9th. Some of them relying on ancestral ignorance and aristocratic monopoly to survive the regime. Drunk. Until the succession, you saw mulberry trees coexisting with ancient trees in the palace. Astonished that this is a sign of auspiciousness. Change the old chess. Convergent symphony. Work hard. 75 years of Qinzheng. Became one of the longest reigning kings of the Shang Dynasty. Shi Jiao Taiwu Zhongxing. But this central climate didn't last long. It was exhausted by a group of fun-seeking monarchs. After that, he gallbladder armor. One is more and more disillusioned. Or move the capital. Or destitute soldiers take over. The doctor wavered a few times. What really pulled the Shang Dynasty out of the quagmire? It's soup. He is my ancestor, also a blood army. He ignored the objections of the nobles, forcibly moved the capital to Yin, and make laws of frugality, mitigate exploitation. This move reversed the decline. The late merchant era began, although the country name is injured, but since then, the name of the injury has spread widely. What is Han Zheng's picture? It's text after all. He knew that all the people wanted was food and clothing, instead of a Maharaja's bronze-topped vanity. It's a pity that this Kingming has not been passed on. King after Pengung. If you are careful, not long in power, not many. Burley repeats again. Until Wu Ding appeared. This was sent to the people since childhood. The king who has endured hardships. An ancestor whom I greatly admire. He's capable. Devao Gampen. Fu Shuo and other wise men to assist, out for nearly 60 years. East Conquest and West Conquest. Frontier expansion in Gansu. Jingshu Jianghan. East China Sea Coast. Created a powerful alliance of nations in Bishi. It was the last golden age of my dynasty. It's hard to send in prosperous times after 5. His son Zhu Jing, Zuya, can still maintain the situation, but then get paid. Kangding is also known as Zhengding. Even beyond. Venton is also known as Tedin. One by one or alone in infighting. Or poor soldiers alone. But no one can reproduce the greatness of the 5 Dings. Gao Rongzhao Dongjie. The war on the Fakong side is still peaceful. Sheng Xiaogongwei. Defeat is empty national strength. 500 years empire. In this endless evaporation, gradually hollowed out, then it was my turn. My name is Dixon. It grows with its own wisdom, both civil and military. Father Emperor, treat me as the best choice. Ascended the throne. I run the southeast. Conquest of Dongyi. He Renfang once expanded thousands of miles. Revive the danger. You say I spoil Daji. Laugh. I ride the battlefield. When operating in the southeast, he may not be in the palace yet, even if it is already there. It's far from the disaster in your legends. Luton is also good. Wine pond and meat forest. It's just a ridiculous joke added by future generations. Easy to be brilliant. It's me to show national prestige. Grand sacrifice. I respect the sky and send my ancestors. It's just that I don't believe in falsehood. Not specializing in jumping magic fists, I believe more in human will and strength. You call me tyrannical. Say my robe is like a sword minister, steal your heart. But have you ever seen me clearly? Facing. It's a bunch of intertwined. Old aristocrats who only seek self-interest. They don't renew their sentiments. But he enjoyed his wealth with the lingering voice of his ancestors. I want to gather all the center. Weaken their power. Introduce new decrees? Became the tyrant they called. Okay, I'll take it. But this world, who is the reformer who does not bear the burden of infamy? Too bad I'm not invulnerable. Deji, maybe it's a solace when I'm exhausted. Is he as bad as legend? History's own public opinion, but the tenderness in the compliment. If I slack off my vigilance against the border crisis, that was my personal fault. And at the same time, the Fango named Zhou in the West is quietly rising. They Corporal Lixian. Develop production. Even a genius like Taigong Wang is willing to work for it. Wait until I detect the threat. It's them sharpening their knives. The sword points at me. Battle of Makino. The main force of our army is still in the southeast, in the hastily organized army. But there were many slaves and prisoners of war. And they came prepared. As a result, the army was defeated like a mountain. Why is there a division under my command? But a deeper reason. It's the lack of people in our army. Many clans are not willing to fight to the death. And Zhou Jun came with the conviction to overthrow tyranny. I lost. Deeply defeated. Defeated by people's hearts. 500 years of Shang Dynasty. Its inner vitality has long been consumed. No one really believes that he can survive forever. I retreat to the terrace. Looking at the flames and cries of Chaos City, I know there's no turning back. So I set myself on fire. I wasn't the only one who burned that night. And the glory and sins of the entire Shang Dynasty. The dynasty that stood proudly in China for more than 500 years, returning to dust in the fire. 1046 BC, the king of Shang Dynasty died with one heart. But you say I'm a tyrant. The king of the fallen kingdom. No, I'm the last one, trying to break free from the shackles of the fist. Strengthen military power. A king who rules the world with human power. Future generations may call me the Emperor of Benevolence. No prison. Don't quit destiny. I did it on my own. Emperors trying to control the fate of their dynasties. I am the end of an old era. It is also the prelude to a new era of Scarlet Dawn.